Childhood trauma is often described as serious adverse childhood experiences. Children may go through a range of experiences that classify as psychological trauma. These might include neglect, abandonment, abuse, etc. Children who have experienced complex trauma often have difficulty identifying, expressing, and managing emotions and may have limited language for feeling states. They often internalize or externalize stress reaction and as a result may experience significant depression, anxiety, or anger. This is my story. Hey you guys. So my microphone don't work. I just bought it and it just stopped working. I don't know why. So I'm not gonna be using my microphone today. Not gonna be using my microphone. But I guess we could just pretend that it's working. Pretend it's working, you know. So basically this is a video of me basically talking about my childhood trauma. So basically I'm not gonna like go into details. I'm gonna like go into details, but disclaimer, I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna say anyone's name. I'm just gonna like tell my story. I am in the process right now of writing a book, a tell-all book, and my book should be out soon. And with this tell-all book, the purpose of it is not to make anyone feel mad, sad, bad, guilty, or upset. That is not the purpose of this book. The purpose of this book that I'm writing right now, currently, is the purpose of this book is basically for me to heal, for me to try to heal my childhood trauma, because I've dealt with a lot of childhood trauma. And I just feel like, for some reason, I just feel like I will never get over my childhood trauma. So that's why I'm in the process of starting journaling, writing this book, making YouTube videos, you know, any way that I can express myself. Meditations, affirmations. I've been attempting therapy for years, but I still haven't made appointments, haven't went, because it's literally like what, almost $200 for one session just to go to therapy. And it's like, I'm not about to pay almost $200 for one session, and then you talking about the first appointment is just gonna be 30 minutes because I got to fill out paperwork. So I find other ways to heal. Like I said, I meditate, I do my affirmations, about to start journaling and writing this book, because I was supposed to start writing this book and journaling years ago. But basically, childhood trauma is something that I've basically been dealing with my whole entire life. I am 25 years old. I hate to say my age, but yes. Yes, I am 25 years old, and basically, it just seems like my childhood trauma has become the best of me, and it just seems like it's gonna forever. It just seems like it's gonna forever get the best of me. Although, of course, it's not gonna forever get the best of me. I'm gonna eventually like move past it. You know, once I keep on doing my meditations and all the other ways that I'm healing, I'm trying my best to heal holistically, because I don't want to heal not holistically, you know, and have to require pills. I don't want to heal that way. But a lot of times my childhood trauma has really affected me in a lot of negative ways. I am 25 years old and I'm still dealing with it, and it's like, it just seems like it'll just never go away. So basically I suffer from hyperventilation syndrome and panic attacks, and I've been dealing with anxiety, depression, hyperventilation syndrome, mad black woman syndrome. I mean, I've been dealing with so much for so long, simply because of the fact that I've dealt with so much in my childhood. I've dealt with physical abuse growing up, which was so very hard on me. Dealing with physical abuse, that's like one of the worst abuse I have ever dealt with. I have dealt with physical abuse from so many family members, probably like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have dealt from physical abuse from like 4 different family members where they physically abused me. They say, spare the rod, some the child, or whatever it is. I don't know. Can't really think of it right now. But I was whooped with a belt growing up. I was whooped with a belt, extension cord, stick, fist, hand, anything people can get their hands on. Because, back in the day, a lot of grown-ups, they basically like whooped us with anything that they can anything that they can get their hands on, they would get it in. But like, the physical abuse that affected me the most is when people decided to punch me, kick me, slap me, throw me against the wall. I have dealt with it all. I have been thrown against the wall. I have been choked. I have been punched in the chest several times. To this day, I have problems, like I have chest problems where my chest will hurt. So throughout my life, I have been dealing with like heart pain and like issues, with my heart hurting, simply because this one person that I know that I trusted and loved growing up, they used to punch me in the chest all the time. They used to punch me in the chest all the time, throw me against the wall, pick me up by my neck, and just like choke me and do all kind of stuff. I was punched by them, slapped. I was physical abused in so many ways. And that's kind of why that's why I'm so mad now. That's why I'm so mad. That's why I'm so stressed. That's why I'm so depressed. That's why I like have this angry black woman syndrome, because it's like I have dealt with so much. So anger and violence, it just seems like that's all I know. But I'm really trying to like, I'm trying to get over it. But with the physical abuse, I was, beat on, I was whooped, I was hit, punched in the chest, hit in the face, thrown. I mean, everything from physical abuse. I have dealt with so much physical abuse. Emotional abuse. I have dealt with emotional abuse also from family members. Like, emotionally, I was abused to the highest capacity. Like, it's hard for me to express myself now, and I'm still working on it. Expressing myself has been very complicated over the years, simply because I was told that I can't express how I feel. I can't express how I feel. I can't tell how I feel. I can't say anything when it comes down to talking about how I feel. Like if I say, hey, I felt like you was mean to me, or I felt like you whooped me for no reason, or I felt like this is how I felt. This is how I feel. I felt like this wasn't right. I felt like this. I felt like that. Whenever I express how I felt, I was slapped in the mouth, slapped in the face. I was giving butt whoopings. People would get on the phone and say, oh, well, such and such is, she's like, talking back and this and that. It wasn't talking back. It was me expressing myself. So now it's like, I don't really know how to express myself now because of it. I'm working on it now, but it's very hard for me to express myself, simply because growing up, I was taught like, hey, if you express yourself, like, you're going to get it. You're going to get a whipping. You're going to get slapped. You're going to get hit. You're going to get abused. So because of that, I tried to commit suicide several times when I was a little girl. As a little girl, and I haven't really talked to many people about this, but as a little girl, I tried to commit suicide several times. I would take pills. I would do so many things to commit suicide. I wouldn't take enough pills to actually like kill myself, but I would take enough. I remember one day I took a whole lot of pills, like 4 or 5 ibuprofens, and I remember me going to sleep and me talking to an angel, And that angel picked me up and put me in the sky. And I was going in the sky up and up and up. And then the angel just dropped me. And that's when I woke up, which is so crazy. I have dealt with me cutting my wrist as a little girl. As a little girl, I would attempt suicide. I would cut my wrist. I would cut on myself. I would pull my hair. I would bang my head. I bite my nails. I had bad anxiety as a little girl, and I didn't know what it was. I would bite the skin off my lips, bite my lips, pull my hair out, cut myself, starve myself. I was so depressed and traumatized as a little girl because of the things that I went through. I was so physical abused and emotional abused. And then I was, as a little girl also, I was molested. So I was sexually abused too by someone on my dad's side of the family. He decided to molest me, and no one in the family did anything about it. They didn't beat him up. They didn't curse him out. They didn't call the police. Do you really think that if my children tell me someone touched them, you really think I'm not finna call 911? You really think I'm not finna press charges? I'm still mad about that because I felt like family let me down. I felt like in the black family, families like to hide the abuser. If someone molests or physical abuse or, you know, sexual assault or rape someone in a black family, they like to keep it a secret. But you can't do that. That's a generational curse that I am going to break. And this is why I don't let my children go anywhere. Because I was physically abused. I was molested as a little girl. My cousin touched me over and over again. Over and over again. And I called that cousin's parent. And they didn't even want to do nothing about it. They didn't. I felt so traumatized when that person, that family member on my dad's side molested me. I felt so traumatized. And then from what I heard, I'm not the only one that he did this to. He did this to several people. That's what I heard. That's what I was told by people. But I'm going to move on from that because that's a sensitive subject. That's why I don't too much like my children go anywhere. Because I was touched on. I was molested. And you can't just say, oh, family won't do that, because family would be the main one to abuse you in any type of way possible. Family, they would be that one to do that. I dealt with so much physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. Like I said, I was molested, which was horrible for me. But like, I have been through so much in my childhood, you wouldn't understand. And that's why to this day, like, I'm just angry a lot. I'm mad. I'm always defensive. I always have an attitude because I have dealt with so much growing up and I really need therapy. So basically, I have dealt with a certain someone, and this is what I seen with my own eyes with someone in the family. They would beat on this person. They would get drunk every single night. This person would get drunk. This person that used to be in my life would get drunk every single night and beat on their spouse. And break everything in the household. And tear up everything in the household. Would beat on their spouse. Cheat on their spouse. Cheat on their spouse. I literally cheated on their spouse with so many people. When I was in high school, this person even cheated on their spouse with one of my I wouldn't say classmates, but when I was in the 9th grade, this person was in the 12th grade. I was in the 9th grade, this person was in the 12th grade. And this person that I know, they would cheat on their spouse with this person. How can you, as a grown-up, a grown person, way older, decide you want to just cheat on your spouse and with someone that goes to school with me? And this person used to bully me. This person used to see me in the hallway and just be like, just say stuff to me. How could you, as the person that I'm supposed to love, Beat on your spouse every night and traumatize me. Cheat on your spouse all the time with several different people. Will break everything in the household. Literally, I mean, all kind of stuff. From the getting drunk, to beat on your spouse, threaten your spouse, threaten us. You used to always have us running around, running from you, and you would threaten to kill yourself. You would threaten so many things. And then I was called a bitch by this person growing up. Oh, it was 2 people in my life that called me a bitch growing up. I'm a little girl, and I was called a bitch so many times growing up by family members. And as I got older, that's what I believed that I was, a bitch. So that's how I acted, and that's how I always acted, like a bitch. Because I was so emotionally abused. But for this person to beat on their spouse every night, break everything in the household, and then replace it the next day like it was all good. And did so much. I mean, so many things. It was so sad and depressing. And I'm still traumatized. It's like I can't get over it. And because of it, I suffer from anxiety, depression, hyperventilation syndrome, panic attacks. I deal with so much. And I'm just obsessed with not becoming that person. I'm obsessed with it. And that's why in the past, whenever I attempted to drink alcohol, because I knew that this person would drink alcohol and do all this stuff. Beat, cheat, curse, all kind of stuff. That's why when I attempted to drink alcohol, every time I have ever attempted to drink alcohol in my life, I would hyperventilate and have panic attacks because I knew that alcohol did this to this person. I dealt with so much as a child. From broken necks, sock breaks. I'm talking about elementary school. Elementary school, I would have a broken neck, would miss school because I got a broken neck. I got socks tied around my neck as a neck brace. And you really think I'm going to grow up and not be traumatized from that? I dealt with so much. I dealt with grinding my teeth. I dealt with pulling my hair out, nail bite. I dealt with so much as a child. My anxiety was so bad. It was through the roof. And I needed therapy as a little child. Not only that, but I was struggling in school. I couldn't comprehend. It was a lot that went on. I remember as a little girl, it was so hard for me to comprehend everything. It was so hard. I struggled in school. And I felt like I should have gotten therapy and I should have gotten help because I struggled so bad. Yes, I graduated high school. I went to college, got my high school diploma, went to college, got my associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree. But when I tell you, growing up as a child, it was so hard. I felt like I needed the help that I need. I needed therapy and I needed that extra help. I needed a tutor. I didn't need to be yelled at. I didn't need to be beat on. Every time it was time for homework, every day that I had to do homework, it was a belt held up at me. A belt. It was a belt held up at me. If you get it wrong, if you don't get it right, I'm going to whoop you. Then I would get it wrong because I was so nervous and so scared of getting whooped. Then I get a whooping and then it's time for me to do it again. I don't know the answer. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Get me therapy. Get me help. Get me a tutor. I'm struggling. I can't comprehend properly. You see, I'm struggling. Help me. Help me. And I would get whooped probably 10 times during a session because it's like, I'm not comprehending it. I don't understand. So why whoop me? Why traumatize me? Get me help. Get me a tutor. Help me. But it said I was beat on several times because I didn't understand. My son now, he struggles and he's behind. And do you really think I'm going to beat him because he don't know the answer to something? To something that's at a school? That's on the paper? Something that we ain't gonna need in real life? You really think I'm gonna beat my son for that? You got me fucked up if you think that. You really do. I have dealt with probably over 500 things in my childhood. And this is the reason why I am how I am now. From me getting beaten on, molested, emotional abuse. That's why I have a hard time communicating with people, because like I said, I wasn't given that option. But what I'm going to teach my children is, I'm going to teach my sons that suppression equals depression. So if I tell them, oh, you can't talk to me. Oh, you can't tell me how you feel. Oh, you can't say, Mommy, this is how I feel. Mommy, I think you was wrong. Mommy, I think you did this, that. I want my children to come to me and actually tell me how they feel. How they feel about me. How they feel about what I did. How they feel about what I said. How they feel about how I responded. Tell me, talk to me, because suppression equals oppression. And that's the number one reason why these children are committing suicide. It's so many children committing suicide, especially in the black homes, because they are taught, if you tell me how you feel, I'm going to slap you in the mouth. I'm not teaching my children that. Generational curse broken. I'm breaking so many generational curses. It's just so much. Like, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to journal it. I'm going to write this book, and I'm not going to care how anybody feels. And like I said, disclaimer, this is not to make anyone upset, sad, mad, none of that. But I have dealt with the worst of the worst. And this is why I don't really conversate with my family. If my family wants to make up with me, most likely we will have to go through therapy. We will have to go through therapy. We will have to get with a therapist and go through therapy, because there's no way that I'm about to just, try to make up anymore. This is why I'm so hostile, why I'm so mad and mean and angry, because of the things I went through in my childhood. You just don't know the half of what I went through in my childhood. I try to erase my childhood memory every day from my memory, but I can't do that. And then people get mad at me. So many people get mad at me because I won't conversate with them or give them the conversation that they need, they want. It's hard for me to conversate with you knowing you did so much to me when I was a child. The fact that I was homeless one time because y'all wanted to go to the casino all the time and go to the casino and just get a casino thousands and thousands of dollars. Y'all gave the casino over probably $100,000 plus. And we became homeless. How do you think that made me feel? How do you think that made me feel that we became homeless because y'all couldn't manage y'all money correctly? I would never do that in my church. And then the places where I had to sleep, from becoming homeless, having to walk to school every day. I remember as a little girl, I would have to walk to school every day, 30-minute walk, there and back, scared. I used to get rides from random men, random women all the time, because I didn't want to walk to school and I didn't want to walk back home. So I used to get rides from them. And then when I would go to school, I would be hungry. I never had snack money. I never had none of this stuff. Never had snack money. And at one point, I had lost my lunch access. So I lost my lunch access and I couldn't eat at school anymore. I had to watch everybody else eat. It was so much that I dealt with in my childhood. And then one time, one of my classmates even molested me. Literally took his finger and put it up and then the substitute teacher saw it and she reported it, and I cried and begged this substitute teacher not to report it, because when I was at school one day, one of my classmates took this finger and did like this to my vagina, and I begged my substitute teacher not to report it, because I said, this person is very popular, this person's on the football team, if you report this, everybody gonna be mad at me. And that's what happened. It's a lot of stuff I dealt with in my childhood at school. at home, in other households. It's so much that I have dealt with in my life, and it's the reason why I'm the way I am now. But I'm gonna put it in the book. This is just only half of what happened to me. But I think the worst things that happened to me is the fact that one family member used to always steal my money. Gamble all their money away. And I had to help this person, that person, pay several bills all the time. Like, no. I wouldn't do this to my children. It's a lot of family members in my life that I'm struggling to forgive right now. Hopefully we can go to therapy and we can work this out. But when I die someday, and if I die someday, I need y'all, YouTube, I need y'all to play this. Make sure you show my whole family. When I do die, I'm going to get cremated because I just don't see the purpose of having a funeral when people don't even like come check on me now. People don't check on me. They don't give me my flowers now. So why, you know? But childhood trauma is real, and so many adults are dealing with it right now. So many adults. If you are suffering from childhood trauma, just know that you are not alone. Say your affirmations, meditate, go to therapy. Listen to rain sounds, 432 HZ. You can listen to chakra music. You can do so much. Thunder sounds, bamboo water sounds, thunderstorms, rain sounds. It's so much you can do. Breath work, deep breaths. 432 HZ. It's so much that you can do. You are not alone. I am with you. I am with you, my girl. I am with you, my guy. You are not suffering alone from childhood trauma. I am with you. We are with each other. And I love y'all so much. If you have watched this video to the very end, which I hope you have, please let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you have suffered through childhood trauma, childhood anxiety, childhood depression. Because I have. And at the time, I did tell them, hey, I did try to kill myself. Hey, I did try to kill myself several times. They didn't give me no help. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.